Before we begin this story, I want to ask you something. Across thousands of miles, people still whisper the name Sparta. Where are you listening from? What city? What land? Subscribe and join the ones who still remember. The world forgot Sparta, but we will make it echo again. They called it the Narrow Gate of Fire, a place where 300 men faced an empire and were swallowed by it. But what Persia didn't know was that fire leaves embers, and embers, when stepped upon, burn again. 10 years later, Greece was silent. But Sparta remembered. Every mother who lost a son whispered the same words at night. Never forget Thermopylae. In the shadows of grief, vengeance began to take form. Spartan boys were trained harder, longer, not to defend, but to avenge. Mothers no longer wept. They forged their sons like iron. Each tear turned into a weapon. One mother's voice became legend. She stood before her only son and said, "My child, I raise you not for life, but for revenge." And from that vow, an army was born. 10,000 Spartans, soldiers of wrath. They did not come to defend. They came to avenge. Their march began under silence. No chants, no songs. Only the echo of iron boots and the ghosts of Thermopylae marching with them. Even the stars seemed to watch them in awe. For they carried not just weapons, but memories. Memories of Leonidas, of 300 heroes who refused to kneel. The Persians believed Sparta was broken. They had no idea Sparta had become unstoppable. Because grief, when sharpened by time, becomes vengeance. As they crossed the narrow pass where the 300 had fallen, every man stopped. No orders were given. They simply knelt and pressed their hands into the soil, still red with blood. And then a whisper swept through their ranks. For Leonidas, it grew louder until it thundered across the cliffs. For Leonidas. That morning, Persia learned something no empire ever should, that the dead can rise if their honor is left unavenged. When their roar faded, only the wind dared to move. 10,000 hearts, one memory. The march toward Persia had begun. They marched without drums, without songs. Only the sound of steel against shields and memories against silence. The Persian scouts saw dust clouds first, then glints of red, then terror. In their camp, Persian generals laughed. 10,000, they said. They sent sheep to the wolves, but wolves were exactly what Sparta sent. By nightfall, the Spartans reached the river of Plataea, the same soil where the 300's blood had dried. They made no camp. They sharpened their blades and their silence. Then came a voice, the same mother's voice that once whispered vengeance into her son's ear. Now it echoed inside his memory. "My son, never forget, you were born to finish what they began." And he hadn't forgotten. Not a single scream, not a single flame. At dawn, thunder rolled, not from the heavens, but from the earth. 10,000 shields struck the ground in unison, a sound so deep, even the Persians looked to the sky. Battle erupted like the wrath of gods. Steel crashed, dust rose, and in that storm of death, Sparta spoke again. And in the center, their commander fought like a man possessed by ghosts. Every strike was a name, every kill a memory. The Persians had numbers, but the Spartans had rage. Every strike wasn't just an attack, it was justice 10 years delayed. Screams filled the air, Persian and Spartan alike. But through the noise, one sound ruled all. The rhythmic clash of shields, the heartbeat of vengeance. Their commander, the son of that mourning mother, led the center. Every blow he struck felt like his mother's voice guiding his arm. And her words still echoed, "Never forget." The Persians tried to surround them, but Spartans don't retreat. They closed the circle and trapped their enemies inside it. The ground trembled under Persian horses, but when they charged, it was like waves breaking against stone. And every wave left bodies behind. In the heart of the storm, the commander fell to one knee, an arrow through his shoulder. But even as he bled, he laughed, because he had seen it, the Persian king's banner trembling in the distance. He rose again, not as a man, but as a promise. a promise sealed at Thermopylae and fulfilled in blood. Then came the twist of fate. The Persian general, once at Xerxes' side, now stood trembling before the Spartans. He had fought at Thermopylae. He remembered the 300. And now he faced their sons. The Spartan commander looked at him, not with hatred, but with destiny. No empire lasts forever, he said. And with that, he hurled his spear straight through the Persian's chest. The battlefield went quiet for the first time. 10,000 Spartans stood still, staring at the same sky their fathers had died under. And for a moment, Thermopylae lived again, but this time Sparta had won. They didn't cheer, they didn't sing. They simply knelt and whispered for Leonidas. And that day, the ghosts of Thermopylae finally slept. Because vengeance had been done, Sparta had remembered.